This is just crazy. What do we know? We know that on February 26th of 2024, a 15-year-old named Sebastian Rogers, who has autism, was not in his bed that morning. His mother claimed she went to wake him up and he wasn't there. She heard a thud that night but didn't go check it out. She claims that thud was at around 10 o'clock p.m. So what do we have? What do we know? We have some last proof of life footage where he had had supper the night before with only his mother at the Texas Roadhouse. And at that restaurant, after the mother and Sebastian enter and sit down in their booth, which we have some footage to share, while they're in the restaurant, someone in a green hoodie crosses the parking lot from the shadows. Instead of going anywhere else, they go over to the mother's vehicle. Now, the way the camera is set up, it's showing the mother's vehicle, but from the passenger side. All right? So we can't see the driver's side, but that's where Green Hoodie goes and waits for near 2 minutes. Just stands there, doesn't interact with anybody. You can see her pacing. While the meal goes on in the restaurant, there's a number of things that go on in there that over time we will question. But let's stick with that Green Hoodie thing. That person, are they a suspect? Not according to the county that is investigating Sebastian's disappearance, which is Sumner County in Hendersonville, Tennessee, and the county is Sumner. So there's a lot of complications because we've all, in this case, have felt like that county may have a biased reason for not helping in the best ways. A lot of us feel that way. Is it true? I don't know. We've even gone as far as to hear Chris, the stepdad, speak about having friends, having to call someone he knew in the department. When it comes to Green Hoodie, Ellie are claiming, now they waited 10 months, so they had this footage from the last time that this child, Sebastian Rogers, sat down and ate a meal, and the very next morning he's not in his bed. That's the last proof of life. This individual waits by the mother's car, Green Hoodie. The mother and Sebastian come out. Sebastian does almost a complete turnaround to go toward the building when he lays eyes on her. I've shared that. That's undeniable. He turns completely back to the camera, away from her, not towards the passenger side of the car, but back toward the restaurant. Katie redirects him. He trips over something a little bit, and he gets back on, but he never takes his eyes off Green Hoodie and the mother the entire time. He then waits by the door. Meanwhile, mom comes between the vehicles. There's some sort of verbal exchange. There's some hand signals. I don't know what all goes on. But something happens. And now, if this is a stranger, which we now are knowing it wasn't, they would have never come through there in a tight place and switched positions by scooting around each other. And that's what they did. Instead of waiting for one to completely allow that one lane of traffic through, like the person to get in their car and then you go, or you wait for them and the Green Hoodie would have passed on by, then you can get in your car. No, there's an exchange, there's a meetup. All of us have been like, what? How would you have been able? So you don't interview that person as the investigation team until after the online sleuths, almost 10 months later, are saying, who is this? As soon as the footage comes out, then they decide, we're going to interview this person. Now this gets impossible. So allegedly, it's been linked that this was a family member to Sebastian as an in-law. I didn't know what that meant until this came about. So, this is what I have to share for you. It's going to get just absolutely bizarre because this person that is Green Hoodie that was by the car apparently has died a tragic death this past November. Like, let's see. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. 9 months after Sebastian's disappearance, this woman dies tragically. That's all we know. It's just a mystery, just dies tragically. And what's even more concerning is this is allegedly the stepdad of Sebastian's stepsister. Now, if you followed me at all for a hot minute in this case, I have always suspected that Sebastian was snuck out of the house. He was taken to the construction site where the water retention is that the dogs allegedly hit on. I believe he was taken there, picked up by a vehicle, and driven directly to CP, the stepdad. That's what I personally feel. Doesn't mean it's true, but that's where I've been stuck for a very long time. So for that to now not only be something that I've been questioning and everybody else, how in the world would you have waited 10 months to question this person? But how'd you do it if she passed away 9 months ago, but you said you questioned her today and the date was December 15th? So if the woman passes away in November, how'd you question her in December? Let's take a look at this. We'll get PowerPoint on the board. I hope I brought you guys up to speed. How's everybody doing? I want to thank my mods and to welcome everybody to 1111 True Crime. I'm Mama D, and we're going to go right into Sebastian's case. I think I've done pretty good of bringing you as to what we're talking about now. Feel free to ask questions in the comments down below on replay and in the live. I will do my very, very best. But if you want to have that relaxed, take our time, and really discuss this case and get your questions specifically answered, I invite you, encourage you, implore you to jump over onto my second channel for our third live of the day, where we're going to allow you to ask all the questions and be interactive with a warm fuzzy blanket, a drink, and basically just snuggle in with me and we'll just have a heart-to-heart talk, and I'll let you know if I know the information. There's so much changing and so much going on right now in the Sebastian case, and there's more coming. There's more coming. I know of more. I just can't pack it all in. So we're going to be very, very busy, very, very quick. Let's jump over here, and I want you to see this beautiful face. This is Sebastian Rogers. He was 15 when he went missing. He is autistic. He is now 16. He went missing February 26th. Now, what is interesting is, if you look over here where I'm showing you on my there we go, over here. Can you see it? Can you see my mouse? You cannot see my mouse. Why? I don't know. Anyway, if you look to the left of the N, you'll see a figure by vehicles. Okay? Let me see if I could grab something to point to it. I'm looking for anything I could use to point to where I'm talking. Nope, I don't have it. All right. Let's insert a circle real quick. There we go. This area right here. And you're like, well, you blocked it out. Just give me a second, you guys. I gotta fix it. I gotta fix it to no fill. And we'll change it to red. And we'll make it bigger, and that way we can use it. All right, so right here is Green Hoodie Person. Right here. And at this point, she's crossing the parking lot, or he, and going between the two cars. The mother's car and someone else's to hang out by the driver's side for the exchange. So that's who we're talking about. Now, this happens to be from Crime Time Buzz. And just so you know, there is a $250,000 reward for the information leading to the return of Sebastian Rogers. So that's incredible. All right, let's make sure you can hear this first.
Robin Lee Quinones, it says here, apparently this was Green Hoodie, and she deceased November 18th.
Okay. Let me get my headphones on and come up to top side. If I can get it to work over here. Where's my mouse? There it is. It's hard with two screens and too many buttons. So the woman on the screen here, right? She's passed away, and I have personally verified this on the 18th of November, 2024. Yet, they're all claiming this is Green Hoodie. So, one, if this is Green Hoodie and she passed away tragic, like it's a tragic death, was the words. Was she silenced? That's one question. Was she silenced? We need more details here. You can't just say she passed away tragically. We have to have more details because she's not that old. And her mother is actually the stepmother of CP, of Chris. Did she know something too much? I don't know. Okay, let's get into this. Get a good look at her. All right, so that's who the whole internet's abuzz that that's her. Now here's the question: if that's her, and she passed away on November 18th, then how did the police question Green Hoodie on December 15th? Like they're saying they did. Now you might say, well, it's not the same person. It's coming from pretty good source that this is the right person, including, I believe, to the best of my knowledge, correct me if I'm wrong, please, that law enforcement even said that this person wasn't someone to worry about because they were an in-law related to Sebastian, which that would be what she is. So I don't know.
Robin Lee Quinones, it says here, apparently this was Green Hoodie, and she deceased November 18th.
She pauses a lot. But I'm so appreciative of the information.
Her mother is Linda Proudfoot.
I verify.
Apparently, allegedly was married to Chris Proudfoot's biological father.
Chris Proudfoot's biological father. So this Melissa Marie, and I think it's Richard or Reichard, absolutely indeed is Chris's stepsister. That's fact. Is she Green Hoodie? I don't know. That's what everybody thinks. And so if we're all thinking that, that makes this next part really suspicious.
I do not know how she passed. However, Hong said it was tragic. And we'll go over Hong's updates too. We're going to go up. At Night has an update about 3 leads that they...
Hong is from At Night Investigations that's working on Sebastian's case. He's the one confirming all this information. This is crazy.
...have received. Oh... and we're going to go over those. I have faith. Yeah, Sumner County, I'm going to share that with you right now, Primrose.
Now, this is
Sumner County said on December 13th, they interviewed.
Maybe it's December 13th. I thought it was 15th. We're going to look at it. So the point is, the woman would have been dead for just under a month. So how could the Sumner County... that allegedly also CP himself said he dialed a direct number to someone he knew because he knew them. This is I can't say their name for legal purposes, but his mother their family do expensive construction in the area for all the rich homes. So there's a lot of pull in the community by the stepdad's family. So in this situation, I was always wondering who would have felt comfortable going to Chris and putting their arse on the line. Now, here's the weirdest thought that came across my mind, because my mind works in all different avenues. One, I wondered if this person knew too much. Two, I wondered if this was actually faked by the family in some way so that she could go raise Sebastian on her own. I don't know. That's very, very, very far-fetched. Could be a complete reach, but it crossed my mind. But how did they interview somebody that's already dead?
Green Hoodie. So let me go ahead and share this with you. And it says December 13th, you see. Sheriff, Sumner County, Tennessee, Eric Craddock. Okay.
Sheriff's Office.
December 13th, 2024. For immediate release. Now, mind you, Green Hoodie's deceased as of November 18th. We want to address the recent speculation surrounding
You're not going to be able to read it.
individual
She moves
seen
it.
wearing a green hoodie near Texas Roadhouse in relation to the disappearance of Sebastian Rogers from Hendersonville, Tennessee. We understand the community's concern and the desire for answers in this case. Today, detectives interviewed the person in question regarding their presence on the night of February 25th, 2024. We can confirm that after a thorough discussion with this individual,
Today, we can confirm we interviewed this person. This letter is dated December 13th. Today would be December 13th. But, forgive me, the woman passed away like 28 days earlier.
is no evidence linking them to Sebastian's disappearance. We appreciate the vigilance and cooperation from the public and all those involved in the search for Sebastian. We encourage everyone to continue providing any pertinent information that could assist in this ongoing investigation. So, it says, we want to address, they interviewed the person in question. Whoops. Today, detectives interviewed the person in question, that's the green hoodie person, regarding their presence on the night of February 25th. We confirm, remember it says up here, wearing a green hoodie near Texas Roadhouse. Okay, now how in the world did they interview this person today, December 13th, 2024, when this person is no longer with us on that time? Isn't that a little odd?
Do you see what we're saying? What in the actual world? How is that even a possibility? How did they interview somebody that had already passed over a month before? It's confusing to me too. You're really confused? I'm really confused. The kid goes missing from his bed. Why are all these shenanigans happening? And are we correct with our suspicions on that county doing the investigation of Sebastian? Now keep in mind, Summer Wells was a 5-year-old that went missing from the same state of Tennessee, never heard from again. And we all know how horrible, corrupt that county was. Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, his son is a RSO from my understanding, and was released without having to serve time. are you kidding me? And so now, this to me, always being suspicious of this county, to have been purposely not doing their job, in my humble opinion. And then to read this, that they're telling us that the one that hovers at that car has actually been interviewed on December 13th, but she had passed away. This is crazy. Let me look at that. Let me show you something. I have that still. You want to look at something weird, you guys? This is why I suspect the father, the stepfather. Now I'm going to disappear. He did an interview very late. They waited for like 8-9 days before they did an interview. I'm going to make this really big. During that interview, I'm going to take chat off the board so you can see. This is what his arms look like. You see them, what appear to be fingernail gashes or teeth marks? Injuries to his arms. Now, he didn't deny he had injuries to his arms. Even though these are in, if you look at this arm over here, this arm right here, these are in rows, right? Over here, they're more scratchy like. He said that they were little teacup poodles or Yorkshire. I can't remember the brand of the dog, but they're extremely tiny little bitty dogs. And not one soul I've ever talked to has ever said the dogs could do that. So he shows up, the stepdaddy that's 3 hours away from where Sebastian went missing. He shows up in the interview, his first interview right here, with what I see as, in my opinion, possible defensive wounds. That somebody fought back. That's why he's always been on my radar. Because to me, he joked and made light of the fact that the dogs did this. There's no way little tiny puppies. Morky. Thank you, PJ Boop. It looks like teeth marks or claw marks. It looks like defensive wounds. It appears to me that he was in a hell of a battle. And if you had your hands around somebody's neck, their hands are going to go on the forearms of the attacker. You feel me? That's right, David Matheson. No way are they from a small breed dog. So that's why CP has always been my focus. And so now, did they fake the death so that this person could never be looked up? Would sound crazy to be like, oh, Sebastian's with that girl because she's not here anymore. She passed over. You know what I'm saying? Teresa says, I'd say human nails, definitely. People Mark says, wonderful day. Hey, Chumba. You guys feel me why I'm so damn passionate. This isn't just a missing kid. Now get this. There's a custody battle behind the scenes before this all goes down. Something occurs between Sebastian and the stepfather's daughter. Sebastian's 15. The daughter's name is Faith. Her sister's name is Hope and is older than she is. Faith is actually the stepdad's daughter, and he gets to have her on visits, used to on regular occasions. However, something in October of 2023 goes awry. Chris himself has stated that all of a sudden he would not allow Sebastian in the same house with his daughter. Kid you not. Now, what's been happening is the daughter named Faith has been the actual focus of a horrific custody battle between the mother, her mother, the ex-wife of the stepdad. So Faith's mother is Nina. Nina did a tell-all, revealed all the dirty laundry about the entire breakup, which we'll be reviewing. Or at least I'll give you the link to review it. It's very heavy. It's a very serious. But now, when you look back on that, she claimed that it wasn't just this stepdad, Chris of Sebastian, her ex, but that it was his whole family, and that his sister, Melissa, as well as the mother, Kathy, all basically threatened Nina to the point, like, was going to threatened to run her over with a vehicle, that she had to grab the children, an infant, and Hope, and run to the police station, where she was taken in the back of that police station and held until things cooled down and then released. That's wild, right? Well, it was always Nina against CP. Chris against her. He said, she said. Until now. So, remember I told you that little girl Faith that couldn't be around Sebastian in the same house. So now CP leaves the home and isn't at the house with Sebastian or the mother Katie at all for the month of February until after this incident happens. And then we can get into that at another time, because he's got missing time on the very day Sebastian goes missing, is reported missing. Now, let's back up. Until last night, basically, and I got this, I would have had no way for me to really lean towards Nina being truthful or Chris, because I don't know either one of them. But now we've got this information where Hope is old enough, and Nina allowed her to make her own statement. And she tells the story to, she posts to Sebastian's grandma, the stepdad's mother, Kathy. I'm about to read it to you. All right, now, let's go like this so you can see it. This is from a young woman, a young lady. Remember, she's probably, I don't know, I would guess there's like a 7-year age difference. So she's 14, 15, 16, somewhere in there, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong again. Hi, Kathy, meaning Bowersocks, Kathy Bowersocks. It's me, the little girl you thought was going to be little forever. Well, now I'm older and have a voice that needs to be heard, and it will be heard in court one day. You want proof? I am proof. I've been glancing at lots of hate comments about my mother, and I don't get involved, but now my voice needs to be heard. My mother is not sitting here playing the victim card like you are making it seem like she is, but she's probably more concerned about Sebastian's disappearance than you are. By the way, the whole, quote, proof thing, the proof you're wanting is right here. I remember everything like it was yesterday. A couple days before I got sick, you came and picked up my little sister. No, stop right there. The little sister would have been Faith, and she would have been an infant at this time, I believe under 1. Okay, but Hope's a little older. So she's like 7 or 8 when this is happening, and now she's retelling the story as a teenager, and she remembers everything. So she's laying into Kathy about the whole thing. She is explaining she got sick and had to be in the hospital. A couple days before I got sick, you came and picked up my little sister to, quote, watch her. I remember being sick in the hospital bed, and your daughter, which remember is Melissa, that's Chris Proudfoot's sister, was sitting with me while my mom goes and gets clothes because I had to stay in the hospital. You were on call with your daughter. You told me you loved me and hoped that I get better. But this whole time, you knew what you and your family were plotting on doing to our family, destroying us, giving us trauma that we have to live with for the rest of our lives. I remember when I got back from the hospital. Let me see where it changes. Just a minute, you guys. Sorry. Let's see, where was it? My mom was making food for me and my brother then. We had a knock at the door. It was a lady with paperwork, and all I heard was my mom crying. I ran out of the room. She was sitting on the floor crying. Me and my brother were trying to comfort her. Then we got in the car and went to your house. Your husband cracked open the door and was yelling at my mom. My mom was crying and very frantic because she wanted her daughter back. Then I remember seeing a green and black baseball bat being held up to my mom. Me and my brother were just screaming because we didn't want to see our mom get hurt. For the next couple of days, thank you, Heavenly Lovely, for the 99-cent super chat. For the next couple of days, my mom wasn't herself. She was so depressed. So they kept the baby from her, basically, you guys. I didn't know what was really going on until I overheard the conversation she was having with my grandparents that were in New Mexico. Then I realized I might not ever see my baby sister again. I fell behind in school because I was so worried. And you and your family had people come to me and pull me out of class, interrupting my learning time just so you guys could make it seem like my mother was a bad person. But she's not. You wanted me to lie about my mother so you guys could gain custody of my little sister. I hated being called up to the office because I knew what that meant. I would have to spend hours in there talking to these people. Hold on. And then comes the trial. I remember being out in the hallway at the court waiting to testify. I never got the chance to testify because my mom won that trial. I remember Big D slamming the door open and saying, "She effing won." I looked at my grandma because my grandma was another witness waiting to testify. I asked her, did my mom win? And she said, I think so. Then my grandpa and my mom came out. My mom was crying with joyful tears. My grandpa so happy. I remember going back to the apartment complex we lived and packing all our stuff and getting ready to go to the sheriff's office. It was a nightmare when we arrived. Now remember, this is where the baby is being handed back to her, to Nina, the mother, by the court, right? That's why they're going to the sheriff's office, because the mother has won the right back to her baby. The child goes on to say, I seen lots of your family members there. My mom gets out of the truck wanting my sister, and then you guys kept giving her a hard time. I was scared sitting in the back seat, listening to all the chaos. Then your son, Christopher, grabbed my mom's purse and dumped it all over the driver's seat, trying to find a key. And then his sister, Melissa, was recording, and I won't ever forget the words she said. Hold on. Just put the truck in reverse and run her over. I was so scared that my mom was going to get run over. I remember my mom grabbed me and my little sister and ran to the sheriff's department doors, and then they let us all the way in the back in a room. We sat there for a very long time. Then they let us know it was okay to leave. We called my grandpa, who was waiting down the road for us, and told him we are on our way, and then we get on the freeway. I looked behind and I see Christopher's dad and stepmom's car following. Now stop right there. Coming up. that has been another time that these people, Christopher's family, has followed YouTubers, has followed people, searchers, done all kinds of weird stuff. And people have filmed him like JLR and Bullhorn Betty. People, they follow them. So I don't doubt that. Just saying. Let me go back over and see what else it says. So the car starts following them. And it's Christopher's dad and stepmom, which I think it's his real mom and stepdad. So she got that backwards. But she says, scared, sitting in the back seat, listening to all of the chaos. Then your son, Christopher, yeah, because Kathy's the mom and Christopher's the son. So she got it reversed. That's okay. She's young. Then your son, Christopher, grabbed my mom's purse and dumped it all over the seat. Okay, I missed something. Or I went backwards. Here we are. I see Christopher's dad and stepmom's car following us down the freeway. I was so scared. I kept telling my mom, go faster, mommy, go faster. Then we finally lost them, I remember. Just kissing my sister and being so happy to have her back. I know a lot of people are going to say I'm making the story up, but between me, you, my family, and God, we all know the truth and we all know what happened. See if there's any more. Okay, there's more. Also, do you remember this picture? It was my birthday. I got to see my sister for an hour at the park. You guys were watching us like hawk. I remember crying because all I wanted was my sister and my family to be happy again. Let's see what she shares. On my way home, I kept crying because I missed my sister so much. No child should have to go through this. And then there's the post. She says, I hope you have an amazing night. God bless you. We will keep Sebastian in our prayers. Yep. Wow. I'm blown away. I want to commend her on being such a brave kiddo, young woman, because that takes a lot of courage. And I'm humbled by the bravery and speaking the truth and standing up for Sebastian. And Nina too. You're doing a good job with your kids. Keep going, girl. Keep going. Mommy power. You got this. You got this. Let's jump over to chat. I'm going to go ahead and show you this real quick. I just have a quick question on Dog the Bunny Hunter. Did I say that right? Dog the Bounty Hunter, not the Bunny Hunter. Sorry, that was unintentional. So I would show you this footage that he uploaded. I'm going to show it to you really fast here. He blurs everything, even under the table. So let's get over there where they get there finally. Look, I can't even see what Katie's doing with her phone under the table because everything's pixelated but this little tiny bit. Why? Why you do that? Whoops, wrong screen. Why you do that? How come you make it like that? How are we supposed to work with that? I get if it's somebody's face. I get that. But how are their feet? Right here where I need to see Katie's phone under the table and what all she's doing under the table. Why is that blurred? Now it's useless. So could you please unblur that part? Blur out all the other faces. I don't care. Please let me watch Sebastian's feet. But there's a lot here. And so I want you to keep going with me to try to understand what really took place with Sebastian, because I believe in the heart of hearts that this right here, let me grab it one more time for you. That right there. Fresh after the child's missing, that's what your arms look like. Did Green Hoodie bring Sebastian to you? Did you leave your camper and go down there just a few miles? I've already done the work. You can go watch the video. Just a few miles in the middle of nowhere. Very rural. What is it? 10 miles to the Mississippi? Full of gators? Just saying. I don't know. All right, my lovelies. Hey, Donna W. I've been wanting for someone to do a close-up of Sebastian when Katie talks to him. Well, that might be what we do then. We'll take what we can of just that close-up. There is something. He's squirming. He's squirming. There's something wrong. And then she does her hand like this on the table quite a bit when she's talking to him, like emphasizing what she's saying. So there's a lot to look at. I want to be able to break the case down with you. Now, if you want to get more familiar with the case, or you have questions, or you have comments and theories, jump over with me on my second channel, 1111 True Crime. No, we're already there. Second channel, 1111 Crime Story, and that's where we're going to get our blanket and our favorite drink and cozy up together. We'll cuddle and we'll just talk about the Sebastian Rogers case and keep his name out there, right? And hopefully answer some questions for you. All right, my loves, with that, let me get off screen and get ready because we're about to jump off here. I love you guys. To the moon and back.